Okay, I think we should be good now. I gotta change all the other scenes though. Oh no, we're good. Okay. That was embarrassing. Hey, what's up everyone? The video is laggy, yes. I don't know what's up with the camera. Still no audio? Why? Every time I try to stream. What's the lag? Okay, there's some input lag. Not input lag, sorry. There's some stream delay, rather. And I don't think I can change those settings. Yeah, so regarding I don't know what's up with my camera right now. I'm streaming with my DSLR, which is what I've always done. And I don't know why, but it's very choppy, no matter what settings I change it to. Let me see if I can get a... let's see. Configure video. Nope. Okay. We're just chilling for now and getting through some technical difficulties while we wait for people to show up, or for more people to show up. We'll give it a few minutes, but alright, I gotta keep up with the chat, and then I gotta fix this stream, and then we gotta start looking for some deals on Newegg. How are you? I'm actually doing good. How's everyone else doing? What week are we now in this whole pandemic? Washington State, I forgot what phase we're in, but not everything's opened up yet, so that's why my hair is getting extra long still. I think my barber is gonna open up on the 1st, so in about a week and a half. June 1st, I think, is when the next round of businesses open up. But yeah, I don't know if it's the bit rate, because even in my preview before I started streaming, so the utility I'm using, the EOS webcam utility, which allows you to use your Canon camera as a webcam, that's still in beta, and it's the exact same. Like, I didn't change any of my settings since last stream where it worked better. I think I might have updated OBS, so I'm not sure if it's on OBS's side, but I've tried changing my camera from like 720p, 1080p, 30 fps, 60 fps. Even in the preview before the stream started, it was super laggy, so I don't know what else I can do about that, so I guess I just have to be a little bit robotic today. New York closed till June 7th. A&T 206. That's funny because I'm not sure if that's my cousin or not, but I have a cousin who goes by A&T, and he super reps Seattle. But A&T 206, you're not Alan, are you? I don't think so, because I don't think he would have a Windows icon. But hey, Albania, what's up? What time is it over there? Hello from Seattle to India, Albania, all over the world. I have a question. Why keep showing your girlfriend when you have to blur her out? It's kind of been like a running thing on the channel. Yeah, it's just been a running thing. She doesn't want her face on any of the videos, and she just like is around the house or in my room and stuff. So I've always blurred her out, and I don't know, people have just kind of gotten used to it. Hey, what's up, Chris? Yeah, prices have been weird, Brandy. But not for everything, though. We'll take a look in a second. We'll see what's in stock, what's for sale, what we can recommend, and all that stuff. But yeah, okay. So as we get the stream started, let me do something real quick. Get some of these links. Hey, what's up, Chris? Oh. Okay. So, as we go throughout the stream, I want to link this here. It's gonna be in the description too. I'm gonna add things to this wish list of things that I would recommend buying. And if you click on that, it's kind of like Amazon, where anywhere else you go through Newegg, and if you buy it, it'll give a little bit of kickback to me. These Newegg Now streams is in partnership with Newegg, and I'm basically helping to promote them, and they basically, I think I have a higher kickback rate on this, so yeah. CPU's battery. But if you use the links in the description, it'll put a cookie on your browser, and for a certain amount of days, if you shop on Newegg, it'll help me out with no extra cost to you. Exactly like how Amazon affiliates work. What is this? Where's the sound come from? Okay. Can you buy me a PC? I'm poor. I can't, but Nzxt Tech Turf is running a PC giveaway, which we're going to spend a little bit doing some shouting out this morning. So Nzxt Tech Turf pandemic giveaway, if I can find it. Here we go. I'm going to link this. Okay. So I did do a giveaway a couple of weeks ago, and we already found a winner for that PC. It was a pretty nice $1,200 system. Zach from Nzxt Tech Turf is doing the same thing. That link that I just put in the description, if you go there, you can enter to win. You don't even have to be an essential worker, which was a requirement for mine. So if you go there, you can, and you know, you don't have money for a PC, you have a better chance of winning going through that. But let's see. When will you stream WoW again? I don't have any plans of streaming WoW again, just because I'm raiding now. That's all I do, really. I'm kind of raid logging. So I just get on to raid for the most part, because I've been busy outside of the game. But I don't know if it's that fun to watch someone raid. But maybe I'll do it on Mixer or something. If I do buy a PC shed, we can check out the Nzxt pre-builds as well. So I'm going to put that, let's see, Nzxt Build. So I'll put that up, and we can check that out as well to see what they have going on over there. How come you haven't partnered with AMD, for example, so you can review hardware from them? So it's kind of hard to get in touch with like the big three, which is NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel. Though I was lucky enough to for NVIDIA to reach out to me when we did like the RTX 2060 project and stuff like that. So I'm in like their email list at least. But you can't just go out and reach out to these companies. They have to approach you at some point, right? AMD, they haven't reached out to me for like Ryzen stuff, which is okay because I'm not a day one coverage type of person anyways. I think it's really stressful to be sent the chips early and then have to do all this testing like right before the what's it called, embargo date lifts or whatever. So I have a full-time job, so I don't mind getting the chips after the fact and then playing with them and incorporating them into builds. Doing side-by-side comparisons, I'm okay with leaving that up to like the Gamers Nexus, Hardware Unbox, those guys, because they do a really good job and they have way more hardware on hand to like put those chips or graphics cards against like a huge stack of other things. Since this isn't my full-time job, I don't just keep a bunch of computer parts on hand, especially since most of it is coming out of my own pocket. It doesn't make sense to just keep it all on hand for it to depreciate. So maybe that's why AMD doesn't want to reach out to me. So it's all good though. I'll get the 3100, 3300X eventually. Stream the raid, the farming, and wow, so boring, Chris. Okay. No, okay, so the camera is, man, this camera is killing me right now. Why you do this to me? EOS webcam utility. Now it's not even on. I do have an Instagram. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I gotta fix this camera. See, OBS is... Oh, man. Alright. I think we're gonna have to go to the Logitech Cam. How do I switch this up? Gonna switch to the Logitech camera 1 second. Even though it's 13 minutes into the stream. Alright. Canon, you gotta go. Sorry. We'll fix you later. OBS wants to act like poop now, all of a sudden. Okay. So we got the Logitech. What webcam are you using? I was trying to use my my Canon T7i Rebel, but that's not working. OBS, why are you doing this to me? But now I'm gonna switch to my C920, which I've had for like 4 or 5 years now. Okay. You guys can still hear me right now, right? If I close OBS, does it end the stream? Happy birthday, Rappin', in 5 days. So let's see. The stream might cut off for a second because I gotta close OBS. Clicked invisibility pot off. Okay. Custom. Let's get some 19. Let's get some 7. Here we go. All right. I think this is better. Is video? Is the stream back? I would say, okay. So this isn't way better video quality. It's just way better frame rates because yeah. So. Here, let me see if I can get this. Chat is broken. Is it? Yeah. So this is my camera, which I used to film all my videos, actually. It's the Canon T7i. And, so Canon, they recently, or kind of relatively recently, released a, software so that you can use this as a webcam. And instead of having to go through, like, a display, like with their old program. But it worked for one stream. The last stream, it was fine. This time around, I don't know why this was spitting out 5 FPS. So we're on the Logitech now. But Instagram, yes, sorry. I'm all over the place. And then nerd on a budget, Instagram, here we go. You just bought parts for a PC. Was that a dumb idea? I wouldn't say so. I mean, if you need a PC, you need a PC, right? People will always, like, you can wait to a certain degree, but what if at the beginning of the pandemic, back in, like, March when prices started to go bad, people just said, oh, just wait it out a little bit longer. We're now in June, and you would still be waiting if you go by that advice, right? So sometimes people just need a computer, and 3 months of sitting at home, not playing video games, versus playing video games, it might be worth the extra $100 or whatever the premium is. So, I would just say make the best of the situation, and depending on how badly you need a computer or how bored you are, that's your call, right? I would happily spend another like $20 to $30 on a power supply if that meant finishing a build that I was working on back in March versus now. Like, I don't know. You could be so productive if you got your computer up and running, if you're trying to like stream or video edit and things like that. So it all depends on your situation. So like they got a Memorial Day sale going on, which, yay, happy Memorial Day coming up for people in the U.S. anyways. We get Monday off. People around the world, you probably won't have it off, but everyone else, I hope you enjoy it. What is everyone going to do for the Memorial Day? Oh, man, okay, we got the Ryzen 9 stuff. What else is there? So I haven't met anyone on Craigslist for a while, just because of the whole COVID thing. But I did pick up an action camera, and that's why I tweeted out not too long ago about different action cameras that people had. But I ended up picking up something that wasn't suggested by anybody. Just after I did a little bit more research. Do I have to use thermal paste to use the stock AMD cooler? If you're buying a brand new AMD CPU that comes with a stock cooler, it will have pre-applied thermal paste. If you're buying it used, the person might have used it and then wiped off the paste when they took it off, so then you would have to buy it. So if you buy it brand new, you're good to go with the pre-applied paste, which works fine. Okay, so we're just gonna sort through these deals. We're gonna go by lowest price. We live that lowest price life. Where can you get a very long power button? I think what you would have to do is look just for a generic switch, though I don't know if it's gonna fit in the cutout for your chassis. That's the only thing. But okay, the RX 580 should work with your Dell motherboard. Which motherboard? Okay, so on the Memorial Day sale, we got some PVC pipe adapters, flexible tubing, SATA cables if you need any of those, tiny network cables. Okay, so we keep going. I actually need a micro SD card. Some Team Group ones, huh? 32 gigabytes. I need it for my action cam, actually. Some of these splitters, too. So, is this how much 32 gigabyte cards cost now? $5? On the normal? It looks like it because the normal price is $5.99. Why did the RX Dell... Okay, give me 1 second. MIH16 ER. Why didn't your RX 580 work? Is this your motherboard? How come I can't find it? I mean, if it's a laptop motherboard, then it might be because it can't supply enough power. Regardless of if it has external power coming in, it still needs a certain amount through the PCIe slot. But okay, I just typed in your motherboard model number, and it's not coming up as anything. So I don't know if you have the model number wrong, but I can't help you there. Good budget cases for mid-tower build. We'll take a look at that actually in a little bit. But all right, I guess we just got to go through computer systems, components. Here we go. We'll go to the components by best sellers. Okay. Now we're gonna go lowest price. So same thing. Let's see. Thermal paste. Got some fans. Bunch of fans. We're gonna see that for a while. What is everyone looking for, anyways? I think I'm ready to upgrade to 32 gigabytes of RAM. I've been sitting on 16 gigs for basically since the channel started, and I still have 16 gigs. I think if the price was right, I would pull the trigger on 32 gigabytes. I don't think Micro Center or Newegg ships to South Africa, and if they do, it's probably ridiculous shipping where it would be better for you to buy local or from a different international seller anyways. So, yeah. Yeah, I would like to see more cube cases too and more micro ATX. All right, 8 gigabytes for... Yeah, we're not going to buy or recommend 8 gig sticks because I'm pretty sure you can save a little bit if you double up and get 16 if you look at the gigabytes per dollar. Here's a 2x4 kit, some DIY PC cases, $40, which it sounds a little bit expensive right now, but given how everything has kind of gone up due to both tariffs and the pandemic, $40 is actually pretty cheap. This looks like it's an acrylic case though. So DIY PC, I built with them quite a bit in the past. If I'm going to get a DIY PC case, it's not going to look like, I don't know what kind of aesthetic they're trying to go for here. Let me make my face smaller because I'm all up in this space. But I don't know what kind of aesthetic they're going for here. I'm pretty sure it's like a gamery look, but I would just prefer them to go simple with a mesh in the front and either cover up the side or like not have that protrusion or come out like that. Let's see. Raid Max. I have that case sitting downstairs right now actually. Okay. Here's a Cougar tempered glass, full tempered glass tower. Yeah, so power supplies. You know, during this Memorial Day sale, we didn't hit anything until the $50 mark, and these are 500 watt power supplies. And these aren't going to be like the best quality ones. They'll do, but if you look at like power supply tier lists, people are going to rank them pretty low. But if you're not overclocking and you're not running like, I don't know, like a 5700 XT with like the power cables modified, you'll be fine. I made a mistake with the motherboard. John, do you have the latest BIOS for that motherboard? I know that fixed the issue with the RX 560, which draws all the power from the PCIe. But okay, here we go. All right, this is an acrylic side case, isn't it? This looks like an older case too, because it has these 5 1/4 bays up front here. And most of the time, tempered glass either takes up the full panel or it just has like a small lip of metal on it. This, because it's like a window within a panel, like this. It's definitely an acrylic, but okay, John, remind me near the end of the stream. I'll get to your question, and we'll take a look into that. But is everyone basically on the tempered glass train now, or the bandwagon? I wouldn't call it bandwagon. Let's just call it the train. All aboard. I don't know. The only reason I would build in a non-tempered glass case is if it was like less than $25 or something like that. I think the really cheap budget cases and the old designs still have a function for really cheap builds. But if I'm building anything over like $400 or $500, it's got to have tempered glass now. I cannot deal with the scratches and scuffs that acrylic brings. Tempered glass is just like, where is it? It's just way more durable. Like, you would never... Whoops. You would never do this to acrylic. You would never take a key and like purposefully, like I'm like hitting it pretty hard and trying to scratch it. Like, and this is me being like unreasonable too. No one's ever gonna actually do this, but you know, the fact that glass basically doesn't scratch, and acrylic would be ruined after doing that. Yeah, I can't. So sorry, this can't really recommend this Fractal design case. So we got our first AM4 motherboard, $50. I mean, if you're building a system and never planning to overclock, I don't think I've ever built with a A320 motherboard. But that being said, most of my builds were when AM4 motherboards were pretty reasonably priced. Remember when we used to be able to find B450 boards for like $70 pretty normally? I guess it's not too bad now. They're up to like $80. But A320 at $50 right now actually isn't too bad if you're planning on basically staying stock. I'm just gonna add this to the wish list just for the people who are really on really tight budgets, like really tight budgets, where like if you're building a $350 system, it'll make a huge difference. So our B350 is dirt cheap. We'll take a look at it as well. What is a fan header and how many does B450 be? Oh, okay. Quick question right here. So you're asking, so the fan headers are basically the 4-pin. Do you have a closer picture of this on here? Yeah, so, oh man. What's the best angle that they have the fan headers at? So the fan header would be this right here. This is for the CPU though. I need a view of the whole board. But on the spec sheet, it should say how many fan headers. There's usually one down here too, underneath this heatsink. Can't see it in this picture though. Is it up here? Okay, here we go. Yeah, so if we look, so we got system fan here, 1. CPU fan 2. Is that it? I think that might be it. These are just USB, RGB, things like that. Yeah. So who is asking this? Hugo. Yeah. So these are the fan headers, basically the 4 pins. This one looks like it has 2. So if you had more fans than that, you would need, especially since the CPU is going to go to this by itself, you're going to want a splitter going from this one to however many fans you have, like 3, depending on what your case has. But, okay. 60, okay. I'm actually going to add this to the cart, and I actually might pick this up because my laptop does not have 16 gigabytes of RAM in it right now. I think it has 12. I need to get that up to 16. So, I don't know how many people on here are... Who here has games on a laptop or basically does their main computing on a laptop? I have a laptop. It's not my daily driver though. It's for when I travel or if I'm doing stuff downstairs. When I'm not in my room basically is when I use my laptop. And then just a reminder, since the viewer or more viewers are coming on, let's see, items will be added to this wish list. Yeah, so I'm going to be adding stuff there. So we can actually go back to the splitter on page. We're going to change this to 96 so we can see way more. But there was a fan splitter on here, I thought. Oh no, this is under PC components. We can find a fan splitter for you later. But Fantex Eclipse P300. I really like this case. And Fantex actually hit me up before. I didn't have any builds I can use it for, so I didn't accept it from them. I think this might be... Is this not the standard price? Fantex Eclipse P300 MSRP. Okay, no, it's usually, well, it's usually $70. So right now it is 60, so it's on sale for $10. But there's no Discord. I don't have a Discord channel. Sorry. I know just I don't want to make one because I won't be able to maintain it and I won't be there. So there's plenty of other good Discords out there. All of my tech brethren, like I know ComTV has one, Zach Sector has one, Coalition Gaming has one. I don't. Does Matt have one? I'm not sure if he has one or not. Scatterbolt has one. Oz Talks Hardware has one. They all have one. So I think if I made a Discord, it would be the same community of people who are in those that come to mine. Except I won't really be there, so that's why I don't want to make one. I don't know. It's just I feel like I'm out of the loop, or like I'm too old or something. It's just like this new thing that I don't want to get into. Yeah, people can maintain it for me, but at that point, it's probably going to be like the same people that sub or mod, the other Discords, because we do share a very common community amongst like all of our channels, because we've collabed so much, and we all do like the same kind of like budget tech stuff. So I don't know. Keep bugging me about Discord, and maybe I'll make it. But for now, I just really I don't think I'll have the time for it. Dark Flash. Wait up, why didn't we get this case? I'm actually doing a pink PC build coming up soon. I gotta link this to my buddy Jan, aka Man Karate, because this wasn't in stock when we were trying to buy cases. Dang it, I'm gonna add this to cart though. Or not cart, go back, add to wish list. Okay. I've never done a pink PC case, but his girlfriend is asking me for a pink PC, and we did pick out a case. It wasn't this one, but man, if I could return the other one, I actually like the look of this one better. It looks like the in-win case. Where's it at? Okay. I'm not sure if I would say it looks better. It looks different. Let's see. Let's look at all the angles of this P300 actually. I'm going to add this to the wish list as well. And in terms of budget case, what would you guys what would you guys say is the price range for a budget case? 0 to how many dollars? Right now, I would say, depending on the fan configuration, up to like $75 could be considered budget, because there's not much else lower than that that's really worth it. Like, I don't really count the $40 DIY PC cases that you're going to want to upgrade in like 2 seconds, a budget case. But like, I'm talking about, fine, we'll call it like partway between premium and budget, since everyone has a different definition of what their budget is. But I think a lot of other bigger channels would call this one a budget case. It's not like dirt cheap, but it definitely has price in mind. And you could definitely fit this into like a $500 build, which I would say $500 is, if you're buying all new parts, is kind of on the more budget end of the spectrum, right? So people are saying $50, $1, yeah, 50 to 100. Okay, so some people have like a more expanded budget. 80 including taxes. That's a good point. Taxes and shipping too. Because this, for me, if I bought this, it'd be 65 plus another, so it'd be 70 something dollars after tax and shipping. This case though, let's see. No. Oh, okay. Compared to $80, that's budget. Yeah. A lot of cases, I feel, from the bigger companies, except for like Cooler Master and a few others that have like actually a very wide range of what they offer. A lot of them are landing in like the $80 to $100 price point, as their like entry level ones. All right, now we're getting to the RAM. Yeah. So earlier we saw 8 gigs for $35, when you can get, even though I've actually never used Alloy RAM, but I know viewers, and I've seen people use it in build videos all the time with no issues. So you have, let's see, 3 gigahertz, 16. Their logo though, it just looks like it looks like something from like the 90s on a web page, like a really old school web page logo. But yeah, so you can save yourself $10 when it comes to if you're putting together a 16 gigabyte kit by just buying the 16 gig set instead of 2 8s. For RAM, this is the cheapest, and let's see, if you go a little bit more to the rip jaws for $5 extra, you get 3200, and from Team Group 2, like all of these are fine. I guess out of the RAM, at this point, I think they're all gonna be like CL 15. Do they have the CL 16? CL 16. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are all going to be the same. CL 16. Okay. So I guess in terms of RAM aesthetics, what's your keyboard? My keyboard is the Velocifier. It's the TKL02WS actually. It's a brown switch. I bought this for like $40, and mainly I bought it was so that it could be wireless. I'm all about that wireless peripherals now. And here's my headphones too. In my latest setup video, I talked about it. But it is so nice to be wire free. Like I could do this and I have wires all over the place. But when packing up for LAN parties, it's very convenient too. And it just makes your space around you feel a lot nicer. And these are, for the most part, budget stuff. Like I think this mouse goes for like $20 or 15 or something. This keyboard's $40. It's fully mechanical. Brown. I forgot which switches are in here. Altimu maybe. But yeah. So hey, what's up, Philip? Okay, quick question. If we had to add some RAM to the cart, which one would you guys, for the basically 3200? Yeah. Oh, this is one stick of 16 gigabytes. If you want two, you would have to get pay another $5 for dual channel. Okay. Yeah. So, which one do you guys like the most in terms of aesthetics? I think I really like the T-Force Vulcans, Vulcan Z rather. I think they look really sleek and nice. G-Skill Ripjaws comes in second, but that right now is $70, and I don't know if I would pay $5 extra. I guess if I was going for an all black aesthetic, maybe, but the dark grays look pretty good. Okay, yeah. Hey Chris, thanks for moderating, man. I appreciate it. I actually need to make more people mods because most of the people I've made mods so far are just other content creators, and they're not always able to be on. Even though Chris is a content creator, which we give a plug to Coalition Gaming. If you guys don't know who Coalition Gaming is, he's actually in the chat right now. He's a good friend of mine. We play WoW together, and I guess you could say we have collaborated in the past, not on an individual video, just me and him, but we have done one with Ozzy. But check out his channel. He's actually closing in on 20,000 subscribers. Yeah, he has actually a lot of streaming tips. If people are getting into streaming, then definitely check him out. Why is it? Oh, it's not in dark mode because I'm not logged in. But I was about to say, why is it so bright and white? But yeah, quick plug for Chris. Thanks for moderating, man. Actually, no, we'll leave that out. We can revisit that and check out some video. Control Shift T. What is the bring back the old window thing? Yeah, the collaboration where we gave away a free PC. So memory speed is gonna be in the it's gonna be how do I say it? A property of the actual DRAM, but your motherboard will also only support up to a certain speed. So I guess that's the quick answer to that one. Yeah, the Vulcan Zs. I think I gotta add the Vulcan Zs to the wish list. The Oloys, though, not too bad. These Gil ones, though, how do you even pronounce this? Gil? So these ones, they are too tall for me. I know, like, a lot of coolers are compensating, or not compensating, but they allow for tall RAM. But still, I think this looks way too tall for me. My phone it has a skin on it. I actually made a video about this. It has a D-brand skin on it because there's a crack near the volume rocker. So that's why it's green. But the case is not. The case is actually transparent and I can put things behind it. But yeah, this is like a carbon fiber green skin. I kind of want to show off my WoW character just for a split second. So give me 1 second. And we can do that. Just because I'm surprised people actually care about, like, WoW. Since it's a 15-year-old game, especially WoW Classic. I'm, like, super surprised. But, alright. So let's see. Okay. Gotta put the World of Warcraft in. Alright. Does this work? Okay. So, for people who are asking about WoW, so this is my guy right now. I'm in the same guild as Chris. We actually have a raid tomorrow. We're doing basically ZG, Molten Core, and MC. But yeah, so I have both a hunter and a warrior. The warrior is my main. I'm an off tank, which is why I have my tank gear on right now. But I'm normally Fury. So yeah, that's the update to my WoW life. I think only like 3 people care about that, so I'm not gonna spend too much longer on it. Oh, actually, okay, Chris wants to log on, so okay, so Chris, let's do like a WoW showcase for now, because both me and Chris are kind of decked out. So we're gonna go in game right now. Oops, we're gonna put this underneath the video capture. Okay. I gotta take off. Okay. Oh, no. I think WoW just crashed. It doesn't like something. It doesn't like... I don't know if I can get it on, actually. Because either an add-on or some... I'm gonna turn off all my add-ons. Okay. So let me go into the add-ons and turn all these off. Okay. I think my stuff's gonna be all over the place. Please don't crash. Alright, where's Chris at? So here's my guy in WoW. And here's actually a guild member of mine or one of his alts. Alright, he's in Dunmoreau. I think he's coming here. So he's gonna be flying to... He's going to be flying to the Flight Master, actually. Oh, man. I can't just quickly switch out of my gear. We'll get back to the deer hunting really quickly. But, I think Chris is going to land here any moment. But, yeah. Flying was in Stormwind. I could have just hearthed the Stormwind, but, hey, what's a PvP server? Very fun. No, man, we used to get ganked like all the time. It was a horde dominated server. But if I can put on my, without the add-ons, all my gear is like all over the place. Chromatic boots. I gotta show off the Maladath, of course. If I can, oop. There's Chris from Coalition Gaming here. We should get into the light, Chris. Show off our guys. Where's my Lionheart helm? There we go. Yeah. So, fun times. Put this here. See? But yeah, this is the main game I'm playing for the most part. Yeah. So, that's it. Bye-bye. Just wave bye to everybody. Bye-bye. Exit game. Okay. Are you giving out any gear to fans? What else gear do you have? Basically, decked out in MC and BWO gear. But we're on Kirinax, by the way. If you want to start there. I'm not sure if there's any other viewers that are playing with us, but yeah. Do you think that the motherboard doesn't support it? It might be. That's the only thing about the different proprietary motherboards with the pre-built office systems. The support is kind of janky, and it's not like they update their websites to say, oh, you know, with the newer graphics card. You just gotta look to see if other people have successfully done it. For the most part, it's not really documented well. So, yeah. Oh, that's Ardman. What's up, man? Let's see. So, we're okay. Carbide Series. I've seen these Carbide cases quite a bit. I don't know. They just always seem kind of like out of date. If I don't know how to say it. It looks like it's a generation behind or something. Like this 110R. I don't even know how much coverage this case got, and I don't see people using it too often. So every time I see them, I just feel like so it's a minimalist design. Okay. Well, it's got some pretty limited airflow, that's for sure. I wonder how far the fans are. So this is coming at $70, right? It comes with one exhaust fan, it looks like. So it does have space for fan on top. Yeah, wait, what is this? That's why I think it feels old. Because it still has a 5.25. I think this is a pretty old case. When was the release date? Date first available. What? It's not even a year old yet? Yeah, September 25th. So this is kind of like a newer case, right? But I saw like zero coverage of it, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. 3300. I would 3300X or 3600. Johnny, what are you gonna be doing? Are you just gonna be gaming, or are you gonna try to stream, video edit, you know, encode videos, things like that? Because the difference between those are gonna be what, $40, I think, depending on like sales and stuff. So I don't know. I think the 3300X and 3100 definitely have a lot of value to them, and I'm definitely gonna be doing a build with it sometime soon. So what's a good CPU for the RTX 2060 Super? I think the Ryzen 3600 is the Ryzen 5 3600 is pretty much like a sweet spot CPU at the moment. If you are on a tighter budget and you want to, for the most part, game and you need to save money, if those $85 1600 AFs ever come back, which, let's see, Ryzen 1600. Yeah, so right now they're at $160, which is definitely not the deal to go for. Like, we looked at all Ryzen 5s, actually. I think the 3600 is going to be the only one that's... Whoa. What's up with this? Yeah, this is not regular pricing. This should not be $209. I think MSRP was $200. So, yeah, kind of limited right now. I don't know if when we actually have access to the 3100 and 3300X, if if these will get back to normal and like won't always be sold out. Though those new ones might be sold out really quickly. The only one that's kind of okay priced is this 2600, but we've seen it a lot lower. We've seen it down to like 120, 110. So this is overpriced, almost double what they were going for pre-pandemic. This one is $10 more than MSRP. This one is a little bit more, but definitely less than the MSRP. Power supply, CX450M. The CX series is actually really, I wouldn't say like super high end, but in terms of the budget, lower cost, under $70 power supplies, these are really good. It's just this one at $70 for $450. I think we saw a deal recently for the 500 watt for like $60. So this is a little bit high right now. How much is the 550? 80. 650 is going to be $219. That's cool. Do I think right now is a bad time to build a PC? It's not the best time, that's for sure. I think it's really hard to build a PC in like one day right now. We are seeing deals trickle in like throughout the week, day by day. So what you have to do is figure out what system you're going to go for. And for the parts that are basically compatible with everything, which is going to be the graphics card, power supply, RAM, that you can grab first. But like things for like the motherboard and CPU, depending on if you're going to switch it up, you can hold off on those. Hey, Forrest, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. That's also another one of my guild members. Do you think the motherboard doesn't? Hey, John, I'm actually not sure. We have to like do a YouTube search in a bit to kind of see. Have I only been? Let's see. How are RAM prices? RAM prices are looking good, man. 16 gigs for $65. Can't complain. And then we get to our first RGB kit, which I think I've talked about these before. These are from Oloy. My goodness, look at that, like, that profile. It looks like Mogatu, right? Mogatu Zoolander? Or is it Mugatu? It looks like his hair, kind of. Like, you see that? That's what I'm reminded of when I see this. Mugatu RAM. But hey, man, it's got RGB. If you want that rainbow spectrum flowy effect, then the cheapest one you can get is $72. And what are we looking at here? 3200. Okay, CL16. Yep, pretty standard with the other ones. I'm gonna add this to the wish list, just for them RGB fanatics out there, which I'm not. Even though my current PC does have RGB in it. We don't RGB all the things. Oh, here's the... My goodness. This is so close to being like a square aspect ratio. These are so tall. Same thing here. 3000 CL16. Okay, so a little bit slower. Between 3000 and 3200. If you look up the benchmarks for gaming anyways, you're not missing out on much. It's almost in the like margin of error territory. Hey, what's up, Mike from Montreal? Hello from Seattle. Can I get a GTX 1660 Super and a Dell Optiplex 3070 without upgrading the power supply? No. I think the farthest you can go is the 1650 Super. Let's see. No external power. Is it? It might be only the 1650. Yeah, if you don't want external power, you're limited to like 1050 Ti from last gen. I'm not sure if they even made a 1650 Super with no external power. Yeah, I think it only went to the 1650. So you need to get something like this, which, hey, it's a Newegg. I'll add this to the wish list. But we gotta make sure. No external power. Where's all the views? They don't give a view. Oh wait, there we go. Actually, it's hard to tell. Yes. We're actually gonna look up all 1650s right now and see what the cheapest one is. But yeah, Zin, you cannot get a 1660 Super with that build unless you upgrade the power supply. Do I think it's worth upgrading from an i5 3470 to an i7 2600? Depends on what you're doing. Because well, actually, I don't remember the stock clocks of the boost of the 3470 off the top of my head. But the i5s typically have higher clock speeds, but just less cores. So for gaming, depending on what game you're playing, the i5 might actually be better. Actually, 3470. Let's see, i5 3470. And then i7 2600. Does anyone remember like these specs off the top of their head? Because I do not. Let's see, 3.2 to 3.6. Okay, no, actually, no, it will be an increase. I was thinking the i5 would have been clocked higher, but yeah. So the hyper-threading is definitely gonna help. It's actually the same amount of cores, but yeah, you'll get better clock speeds, especially, I don't know if you're overclocking or not, but yeah, I would do that upgrade. If it's worth it though, it depends on how much you can buy it for. You should be able to find an i7 2600 for like 50 or 60 bucks. Then hopefully you can sell off your i5 for like 20 to offset it. But the cheapest, oh, that is the cheapest, 150 bucks. Yeah, I don't believe this requires any external power. I wish they would just say, where would they normally say that? We would have to go to Gigabyte's website probably. Here we go. Yeah, I'm not seeing any place for any additional power from the power supply to go through. So you would be good with something like this. Okay, back to all the different parts. So we got a bunch of RAM. B365, man, I'm so out of sync with with Intel motherboards right now. So this is 11. Okay, so the new comment lake is what, LGA 1200, right? So this is gonna, yeah. This would be if you wanted like the 9400F, I think. I don't know if I would recommend Intel, especially since if you did want to upgrade, you wouldn't have support for the new processors. Does anyone know off the top of their head how many generations of CPUs, like some of the latest Intel processors have had? Or how many generations of architecture, sorry. Like, how long could a motherboard have lasted you? I think it was only 2, right? Did any one of them last 3 generations of CPUs? I mean, with the B450s now supporting the AMD 4000 series, we've got 4 generations of processors that you could potentially use with B450, which is kind of crazy. Even though they said there might be some issues with it, we'll see. Nine generations with something recent. I'm not talking about like old school Intel. I'm talking about like since I guess ever since Ivy Bridge, or no, like Sandy Bridge. Yeah, with the newest ones, I think it's only 2, right? 8th and 9th are the 300 series. Same with like Skylake, the 6 and 7,000 series ones. Those were kind of paired together. They're tick and talk cycles. Ah, those refreshes, Chris. Okay. All right. So just seeing this RAM makes you want to ask the question. How fast, if you guys are on DDR4 on your desktop, how fast is your memory? Like, do you guys care whether it's 3 gigahertz versus 3.2, 3.6, 4 gigahertz, and why? I think I'm running 3600 right now, and it's the set I got from Micro Center when I did a build. But a lot of my builds, I still go with like 3 and like 3.2 gigahertz. Oh, did I freeze? Uh-oh, let me see. 3600? Okay. Now, of course, if the price is, the same, definitely go for the higher speeds. But would you pay a $20 premium? Because we saw, pretend the RGB wasn't here, we saw $60 for 3 gigahertz. Now this one's $80 or $82. Ignoring the RGB, would you pay that much more for 400 megahertz increase? I mean, I think like people probably still running on 2666 and they're probably doing fine. There's these here, so we can look at the difference right here. 300. We'll look at 3,000 rather versus 3600 RAM gaming. Let's see. I think, is this the channel that does it side by side? I love this channel. We're gonna have to watch this ad or what? So, yep, we gotta watch the ad. But this channel benchmark, I like how he displays it real time instead of just charts, and you can see the difference in this. I think he only does mostly gameplay. Skip trial. So okay, this is CS:GO where I don't care if I'm getting 550 versus 580. We'll go to like a tougher to run game. Come on, here's Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So 2666 to 3600, we're seeing like a 10 FPS difference. I don't know if you would really care about, once you're past a certain amount. But if you look between 3200 and 3600, right? I'm sure everything is identical in terms of CPU and GPU. We're talking about just gaming here. So 1% loads is better by 3 FPS. Okay, I'm pretty sure your eye couldn't even really perceive that. And then the average is 112 versus 116, 117. So a lot of people, I think, want to just min-max it just because they want to say that they have the fastest RAM. But if you are pretty tight on money, or like, you have to be very budget conscious, 3200 is just fine. I wish he had 3000 nearby because I'm pretty sure that would show that it would be decent too. The CPU is going to be it's the Ryzen 3600. So yeah, it is not an Intel CPU because I think Intel is going to be less sensitive to that. But he does have actually a very popular Ryzen CPU that this would, I think, apply to a lot of people. So if you look at it from like a Delta, it's so all over the place. Let's see at the end of the test. Oh, so by the end of the test, it's 117 versus 122, 5 FPS on average. It's not like you can just change a setting to get this one a little bit higher too, right? If you needed to. 4 gigahertz for $80. Nice. But yeah, I was just curious what everyone's opinions on. Give me 1 second. Gotta check on the stream health right now. What the CPU is a Ryzen 5 3600. Okay, I want to take a look at these two cases right now, just because. So this is the Corsair 275 Airflow. I don't know about you, but if you looked at how much surface area on this front panel is covered versus how much there's actually slots versus like a mesh design, I feel like over 50% of this panel is covered. If we took the area of the openings, compared it to the area of what's covered, I think there's more being covered than being shown. So, I actually don't know how this performs. It's actually selling pretty well. People are happy with it, but to call it airflow, I don't know, man. Okay, let's see. How long have we been streaming, actually? It's 1:08. So only for an hour. Okay, we're good. When is the 3300X? Isn't it gonna be in June? Like the actual release date? Oh, May 21st. Is it? Can you actually buy it right now? Like, when is it widely available to the public? This is not right. Oh. Delivery 531, 533. I actually didn't even follow when. So this is from a different seller. Did anyone see if this was actually available on Newegg for the MSRP at whatever the launch time was? I actually didn't tweet I was going live. Good point, Chris. I tweeted yesterday, but I did not today. Whoops. It's okay. I think the Newegg notification, or the YouTube notification gets most of it. Yeah, but I don't know what the actual two retailers release date is, and I'm not sure if I have seen that versus being released to like reviewers and embargo and stuff like that. If it's really May 21st, I don't know if we can even find it anywhere. B&H has it. Oh, it's coming soon. So yeah, availability June 8th. Wait, coming soon. New item. Was this ever available and actually like there? Are people getting their orders? At this point, I would say wait the next the extra couple of weeks if you are interested in the 3100 and 3300X, which I think are good alternatives to Ryzen 5 if you're not doing a bunch of extra stuff, like streaming and all of that, workload related. It was originally 120, yeah. Its prices are off right now. Don't pay attention to the prices that are being shown by third-party sellers. So we haven't found a B450 board yet, right? And just as I say that, we see the Gigabyte DS3H and the Aorus. I built with this one before. Actually, I've used both of these before. Now, they don't have the highest quality VRMs, but this is the build. I forget if we overclocked it when we were at LTX. This was in the LTX giveaway build. And then I built with this, and I'm pretty sure I was able to overclock like the 3.9 on like a Ryzen 5 processor, 3.9 or 4. So if you want to save like $25 because the Tomahawk, which is now my like recommended board, those go for like $115 and they never really drop below that since the pandemic started. These are some other options to save you like $25 if you're not going to be doing any crazy overclocking And what is their memory support? Yeah, and then they support up to 3600, or this one does anyway. How much is the DS3H? Memory support 3600. Yeah. So of these two, this one looks a little bit more bare. Like there's not as much going on in terms of VRM cooling. I'm gonna add both of these. Though, what's the prices? About $90 to the wish list. When I get the 3100 and 3300X, I'll probably throw it into this and see how well it plays with them. Hey, thanks, Rafe. Stay safe as well, you too. Yeah, Pro 4. I haven't seen those though probably because they're very popular. Oh, we gotta talk about this. This case. I was really close to building in this case, but it was out of stock. But I really like the Lian Lee. I don't know why they call it the Land Cool, because there's no handles on it, so I don't know why it's called a land case, man, or it has land in its name. But I really like this case. It's definitely more for the aesthetics than the performance, because anything without front mesh, you're gonna be sacrificing a little bit on airflow. But I think the RGB looks nice. I've seen the videos of this. It actually looks really nice. It does have a little bit more of a modular design too. You see this power supply shroud basement, those panels also come off. Both of the front and back are these glass kind of like opening panels that are on hinges. So this is, I guess, a little bit more premium because it's close to $100. But how many fans does this come with? 3 120 millimeter fans included. So you don't have to buy extra fans, which saves you like $20 to $30. Hey, what's up, Matt? Welcome to the stream. What up, what up? The only deals, let's take a look at the deal cart today, though. Which I'm going to link this again. So far, we've got, kind of questionable when we used to see these motherboards for $70 to $80, right? But that's besides the point. Sometimes you gotta pay the extra $10 to $20 if you need a PC right now. So we've only really found RAM, let's see, some motherboards, RAM, and cases. I'm surprised, we're looking through the Memorial Day deals still. We haven't found any SSDs in here. So I'm pretty sure there's normal price SSDs, which are fine, but they're not on sale, quote unquote. Does it matter if I buy a 450 watt PSU on eBay? I think it does, especially if it's an unbranded one. I think it matters a lot. A lot of lower end power supplies, they cannot supply nearly as much power as they say they can, or they can supply it, but they will run extra hot. They won't run in like at safe temperatures. So definitely be careful about the power supply. Some of the no name, no brand, no coverage ones, like where no one has reviewed, I would probably stay away from those. Is there any low profile RAM? I'm not sure. I don't see any. Corsair's Dominator. Isn't this like their high end stuff? Or is that the Dominator? Oh yeah, Dominator Platinum. Pretty sure this is typically their higher end stuff, but I mean, this is just 3200 CL16. We've been seeing them earlier. 16 gigs. I don't know what's so special about this unless it can be overclocked well beyond 3200. But I'm not sure why anyone would pay $120 for this. Oh, yep, that was only 16 gigs when you can get this Oloy for almost the same price and get 32 gigs, which I'm strongly considering. If you prefer not too expensive, for the Ryzen 7 3700X, the B450 Tomahawk, which I just saw, Tomahawk was in stock. Is that a stock already? I just saw it on Build the PC sales go in stock like last night. But it is out of stock already. Yeah. These were going for $115. Anytime they're back in stock from Newegg, they'll be $115. And this is going to be basically right before you get into the more premium boards. This will handle the Ryzen 7 3700X. I think Hardware Unboxed used this with the Ryzen 9 processor, and it actually performed well. So yeah, it's gonna be about $25 to $30 more than the lowest end B450 boards. All right, so now we're in the 9400. So I have not built with the only Intel related content on my channel currently is when I showcased my PC with the i7 8700K, which was my main rig for a while. Now I'm actually on the Ryzen 5 3600. So you can call that a downgrade if you want, but it suits, my needs. But I haven't made any content on like Coffee Lake stuff, and I don't know if I ever will. Like, this is the same price a Ryzen 5 3600 would go for, and I'd rather get the chipset support from AM4 than be stuck with an Intel, motherboard that would be very limited. So what's your guys' opinion on it? Does anyone else have Intel processors, like the new ones out there? I feel like at some point people just started recommending Ryzen builds way more. Hey, see you, Rave. Have a good night, man. Hey, Charles. What's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. You're on summer break right now, right? Or coming up on it soon? Max out gaming. But again, just like this video we were just looking at, we can look at Ryzen 3600 versus Intel. I think the 9400F is going to be the prices. So which one's the best video for this? Some of these videos, I like to see the side-by-side comparisons with the MSI Afterburner Riva tuners. Some of these just... Oh, here we go. Yeah. So, if we just look at... let's look for a CPU-heavy game. And guys, if you do ever have questions like about what processor is better, like, I don't know everything off the top of my head. I can only fit so much in this tiny brain of mine, right? Like, these comparison videos are like amazing. This Testing Games channel I really like, actually, because of the way they present the information. It's actually pretty, like, there's like not much talking at all. It just shows everything that's going on real time. And if this looks a little bit complicated, it will probably take some time to pick up, but we can actually go through this right now. Let me try to find a game. I think it's Red Dead Redemption. But basically what you want to look for is usage for the GPU and CPU if you care about anything bottleneck related. And then the FPS information is very useful. 1% lows is going to tell you how much the game may stutter. Like, when you get really low, like below 30, you might notice that if you're running like average 100 something FPS, right? But this is Red Dead Redemption, so that would be fine. But yeah, I'm getting like off track. I want to look for Assassin's Creed because that kills games. Is it even tested? World of Tanks, Outer Worlds is not tested. Well, dang. Oh wait, no, it is 48 seconds. Let's go. But like, okay, someone said the i5 9400 is better. Which I don't know if this is unfair. Is this because this is being overclocked to 4.15 gigahertz? I wish they had the stock one. But regardless, even if this was flipped, do you really care about 5 FPS difference when you can get so much more out of the Ryzen processors for if you're interested in streaming and editing videos and things like that? And again, later on when you want to upgrade, we do have Ryzen 4000 series support now on B450. You can get, hopefully it can handle the Ryzen 7s from that series. Like, couple years down the line, if you wanted to upgrade, I think that's a much better upgrade path than just going to this 9700K. RX 580s are $170 right now. I don't know about that. I think RX 590s are actually in a pretty good spot right now. Wow, this list is so long. Let's see. At the minute, I have an i7 6700 non-K. You don't really have that many upgrade options. Realistically, I don't even know how much the 7700Ks are going for. Yeah. Oh, if you're asking upgrading just CPUs, I don't know, Aiden Widows, but if you want like a substantial upgrade or like a noticeable enough upgrade, probably like a Ryzen 3700X. I don't know if it would really be worth it to upgrade to like a 3600. The i7 6700 is not bad. It can still game like right now, but as soon as you start adding in more workload related things or trying to do multiple things at once, then it'll start slowing down. 8600K obsolete. No, I wouldn't call it obsolete. It depends on what settings you play at and what you do. I mean, come on. I've done a video using like Skylake, or not Skylake, Ivy Bridge and Sandy Bridge processors not too long ago, and they can still game just fine. Like, it depends on what your expectations are. I think an 8600K for a majority of people is good enough. Like, it's just because it's not as good as like another processor doesn't mean it is not just good, right? It doesn't all have to be relative to each other. Why can't you buy the processor and motherboard on Micro Center? I don't know what that means. Can I rate a Ryzen 5 2600 HyperX 16 gigabytes of RAM? Okay. GTX 790. I think your next upgrade is probably going to be the graphics card, but I mean, for 1080p gaming, that should be fine. A little bit hungry of a graphics card. Let me look up 6. How much did you even buy that GTX 790 for? That I wouldn't even consider that really a consumer card. Okay. So, are we through? No, we're not through all the deals yet. We're on the last page, but now we're getting to the expensive stuff that 64 gigabytes of RGB RAM. 2060's KO. This is not the super. Be very careful about that. $5,700 XT Sapphire Pulse. This would be the model I would get if I had $400 for a graphics card, or the Gigabyte Gaming OC one. But what to check when getting a secondhand GPU? Honestly, it's really hard to check without putting it into a system and just testing it against like the standard benchmarking tools. Because some people just they don't take care of their GPUs, but it works just fine, or their graphics cards. Like dust and stuff, I guess it could be a telling sign of like, I don't know, it dying sooner because it was running hot for a majority of its life. But yeah, you gotta just test it in the system, see if it's running like hot for no reason. But then again, that could be like it just needs new thermal paste application. So it's really hard to tell. It's kind of a gamble until you stick it in your system. It's kind of up in the air. Okay, is there any... Okay, someone wanted me to check out the Nzxt Build, which, big fan of this, by the way. Nzxt is a pretty chill company. Not just because I had actually met them at an event before. I don't think I've ever done any like video where they sent me anything yet, or I haven't been sponsored by them or anything. So this is just my opinion. And Nzxt is pretty legit with what they have to offer. So if you want a pre-built, just because they may have had access to these parts and got them for, you know, non-price gouged prices, then this may be an option until things get back in stock or things come down in price. So we look at their starter PC. If you look at the specs. Oh, it has a 9400. Oh, I was just talking crap about that. Okay. So 1660 Super, that's pretty solid. So this goes for what? 160 bucks. 1660 Super. Those are two. Let me take quick. Like what? 230. 240. Okay, 230 at Ender ROM. Okay, so 230 plus one. Let's just say 170. So around 500 bucks for these two alone. If you were to buy it like anywhere else, doesn't matter where. So we know RAM's 60 bucks, so it's like 560. 660p. I think it's a lower end SSD, but it's 512 gigabytes, and you can't really find one below 50 bucks right now. So you're already at like $600 worth of stuff right here, right? That doesn't include the case, motherboard, power supply, and the fact that they just built this for you and they're gonna ship it to you like this. How much does this cost? What is the price? $900. Okay, this is what's the motherboard? B365. Man, I have no idea how much these Intel motherboards go for. You can find those for $100, it looks like. Oh, Newegg has it for. Is this the brand new one? Oh, this actually is the one that we saw earlier for $75. Okay, so motherboard $75. Power supply is around like 75. So 150 added on top of. So 750 already. Case is another 50 bucks. Actually, no, it's the Nzxt case. Yeah, they go for 70. Is this free shipping? the case is 70 bucks, I think, MSRP. But I think you can put this together for roughly the same price. It has a 500 watt bronze. Yeah, so that's going to be at like $60 at the moment. It does the Wi-Fi. I don't know if that's a part of. That might be like an external card that they put in, or a card, or like a USB adapter. So, and it comes with Windows, official Windows. You know, not those $3 keys from eBay. And it, it has an aftermarket or like a different cooler on it that's not stock, right? So when I look at this, I don't see a bad deal. I see it in line with the current pricing and situation. So depending on if things are in or out of stock, and depending on if you want to build your own PC, or if you're, some people out there don't care to build PCs, which is fine, right? It's like with my car. Like, I'm not into modifying my car or doing things like, except for like oil changes and stuff, which I can do in brake pads. But like other maintenance on my car people can do it and save themselves lots of money. I'm not into that, so I'm gonna pay for someone else to work on it. This is a similar situation. Some people just want it built for them, which is why people like Power GPU, right? He's like thriving right now because there are people out there who want pre-built computers, and this is, I would say, is almost more on the custom side because they are actually using decent components than compared to like iBuyPower and things like that. So. What's up, Lee? Man, how long has Lee been in the chat? And I'm just like totally rambling. What is up, Lee? Everybody, Comp TV is in the house. We got Coalition Gaming, Comp TV. Toasty Bros was here earlier. Tech Always too. Bunch of the tech fam just chilling. What's up, man? Some people are just lazy. Here's my take on it. 10, how many years ago has it been? Like 10 or so years ago, or whenever it was that I opened up my first computer, I was super scared to break something. And I get emails all the time of people that are scared of that as well. And I think if you buy your first PC as a pre-built, especially something like that Nzxt one, that has room for upgradability. You could reuse that case, power supply, maybe the motherboard if you upgrade only the CPU. But let's say you upgrade it to like something Ryzen anyways. It's just a quick motherboard and CPU switch. You can reuse a lot of those parts. So I think buying a pre-built as your first PC isn't the worst idea in the world, and then getting into it. Because how else will people get somewhat hands-on experience except for jumping in the deep end, buying individual components which become DOA or have issues with compatibility or something like that, especially in the used market too. If you buy something that comes DOA, it's a pain. So starting with the pre-built that has room to upgrade can get people into, working on their own computers. Like my first PC was a pre-built that we got from Costco when I was actually like in middle school, and I think when I upgraded the RAM, that was my first time like touching computer parts. So I don't know. That's just my take on it. I don't hate on people who don't want to build their own PCs. They probably will eventually get into it. They just need a step in the right direction, and sometimes that's a pre-built. But yeah. Well, no, it's by buying a pre-built when your first upgrade comes, which is likely going to be either RAM or hard drive. That'll get you opening the case and actually like having to undo plugs and things like that, or a graphics card upgrade. You gotta take baby steps sometimes. I mean, of course, as someone who actually works on computers, I would recommend like most people to get into building custom, but not everyone is wired like that, so it's fine. Yeah, see? Think it's a game. That's exactly what I did. Bought a pre-built, upgraded it, and then bought a whole new system. Okay, was it because your pre-built was bad? I think some of the pre-builts, like the Nzxt Build ones, would be good enough where you can actually upgrade it and reuse a lot of the parts. Because they use some better parts. Hey, what's up, Snorty? Donnie Kubit say, I agree, my first was pre-built from Cyberpower. Had to submit a lawsuit to get what I thought was fair. Wow. Okay. I don't recommend all pre-built companies out there, but there are some that I would. I know Micro Center's in-house pre-builts are pretty good. And then NZXT, their pre-builts are pretty solid. Newegg has some pre-builts right now, but we're not seeing any of them. They're called ABS. But apparently those go out of stock so fast because a lot of people are buying them up. Depends on who you talk to, Johnny. I think if you ask car mechanics, they would probably, some of them might say PCs are complicated and delicate, whereas car parts aren't. So some, like, people have been working on cars their entire lives. It's like nothing to them, right? Kind of like how people with PCs are so used to it. Like right now, handling PC parts is like nothing. But if you flipped it around, I'm pretty sure it's a whole different world. You kind of have to start over and build the comfort. But yeah, see, some people do have that view towards PCs, where it is expensive too, especially since some people view PCs as not required or like not essential to their everyday. So it's kind of like a toy. PCs being like up to $1,000, that's an expensive toy. If you don't have uses for it really, except for gaming. Try to help, or CompTV says, I tried to help my coworker build a latest system, but one of the Cyberpower reps convinced him to spend $700 more and buy a worse system. No, $700 more. So what do you buy? Like a $1,500 system or something? Okay. There are components. I actually want to take a look at laptops real quick. PCs and laptops. These are pre-built since we are on the topic of basically all-in-one and pre-builts and stuff. Let's look at the lowest price. We can get some Android tablets here. What do you think's more delicate though? Car part, like when I say working on your car, I'm talking about like oil change, brakes, maybe like a timing belt or a serpentine belt change or something like that. Things like that. So those are very cheap upgrade or not upgrades, but like maintenance things that you can do. I guess for PCs, maintenance is all you have to do really is like blow out the dust. Yeah, car's more essential. So also the safety factor thing too. If you work on your own car and you do it wrong, and for some reason you're driving down the road, let's just say you do your own tires or something, I don't know, or your own brakes, and something malfunctions, it's a lot more dangerous in a car than with a PC. So yeah. Pre-built laptops. $400, but 8,400. That's actually not bad for like a entry level gaming system. So if you grab this and slapped in a 1650, 16 gigs of RAM. This one's running on integrated right now, so it doesn't even have like one of those low end GT something cards. Like I don't think this is a bad price, even though like the case isn't the best for airflow and things like that. But the processors are already over $100. 16 gigs of RAM is $60. Windows, power supply, motherboard. Even though those are all gonna be low end items, this is normally okay. Yeah, the 600 price is a little bit high for their normal pricing, but for 400, yeah, I guess. Could I recommend this versus just going with like a Sandy Bridge i7 pre-built? These newer processors are a lot nicer though. I'm on the fence with this one. Let's see if there's any other. We got Ryzen right here. Comes with SSD. 500 seems a little steep. Here we go again. Pre-built systems. This time the new version. Yeah. This one seems overpriced. For it has SSD in it, but these 240 gigs are only like $30, so that's not too enticing. I have seen some pretty good deals for pre-builts, like high-end ones too, like in the $1,000 price range. Like they have like 5700 XTs, Ryzen 7 3700Xs, things like that. I could actually recommend some of those, even if it is coming from like CyberPower and stuff, because not all of their systems are bad. Sometimes they actually do use pretty decent components, and given just what we have to deal with pricing, it's not all horrible. Hey, see ya, Fun at Tech. What specs do you recommend for gaming and streaming PC, as I am on a budget? What's your budget? If you ask like Linus or Jay's 2 cents, if they're on a budget, they're talking like $900. What does this have? A 1660 Super. That's it. So this would be a gaming system, but $900. It does have like a smaller profile though. Yeah, this is like almost like a slim tower. Chef, I don't know what your Nzxt pre-built was. What was the price? Let's see. Today's best deals. I think. Oh, these are the shell shockers. How did I miss this? T4s, 250. Okay. This is their Vulcan line. It's a little bit higher end than their other ones. We got NVMe, $67 right now. I think this has. Does this have DRAM in it? Where is it? Can you check the link you posted? Where's the link? I didn't see it. Oh yeah. If I had to build a PC right now for $100, it has to be used. That's for sure, Jordan. And no, I probably wouldn't try right now. I think so. The budget systems are cool for like fun projects, but I'm not sure if I would ever realistically use a $100 system for my everyday use. Me specifically, I guess if you're a student where you're mostly doing schoolwork on it and not really gaming, then $100 system, if that even exists, would be good. But that's so dependent on like kind of like once in a lifetime deals, or you're going for really old stuff. And I don't know if I could recommend that versus just saving a little bit more money, because like the difference between a $100 versus $200 system is so big. You're spending double the money, but I swear you can get like 8 times the performance or something like that, just because of how, if you're buying online like through eBay and stuff, things just have an inherent value and like a shipping price to them regardless of what their value of like how good they actually are, right? So I would say $100 PC, while it would be a fun project just to see how much you can get out of it, for realistic uses, I don't know if I could recommend it. Used shivers down my spine. And then you have people who don't like used, like Donnie apparently. Used made one at 4130, 750. It's not terrible because of the SSD, but you're using it for resale. Where'd you get the parts though? Is that like... Yeah, it's... If you guys have noticed, I haven't done PC builds in a while with like that had a lot of super lucky deals in them, like when the channel first started out. Like anything recently used anyways was in like the $300 to $400 price range, and I usually get everything from eBay in those, or if I get it local, I definitely make sure it's like kind of standard pricing, because while those good luck deal finds are fun, I used to get so many complaints from viewers like, this guy's lying about the price and I can't find it for that cheap, things like that. So now when I do used builds, I try to make it like easily accessible with things that are pretty like standard priced. All eBay shipped and hardware swap. How much is the 4130 going for right now? That's not right. 4130 Intel. So those are going for, but the motherboards, LGA, so that's pretty cheap. So $20. I'm not sure how much you got yours for, Jordan, but if it's not a hardware swap, it might have been cheaper, because sometimes people let stuff go for a lot less there. Motherboard. These motherboards are usually pretty pricey though, just because they don't make them anymore. So people who are still on like the 4790s and stuff like that, like they, you know, they're still pretty decent processors, but you have a very limited stock. Okay, so if you go with these optiplexes, similar to the, so this would be similar to going with like a old i7, like Sandy Bridge, but I mean, we're already at $30 something before tax for me anyways. So, oh, it was a pre-built. Okay. Well, with pre-builts, I mean, if we look at a 4130 pre-built price, because again, I'm going from pre-built PC. Because I'm going for kind of like standard pricing here. So these Dell Optiplexes have them. Yeah, by all means, if you can get a once-in-a-lifetime deal, definitely pick it up. And that sounds like a pretty solid system. Did you get a graphics card in it, Jordan? Alright, see you, Snorty. Thanks for chilling, hanging out. Yeah, I have tax on eBay, which sucks. Like, you can get this for $70. I don't know what graphics card you can realistically stick in here, because I'm 750 Ti's, any of the low profile cards, those are really expensive still, unless you get, again, like a hardware swap or a local deal. But this is for $70. You do have something to start off with. Probably would want to go for 8 gigabytes of RAM though. But this is the lowest price. Buy it now. If you could do a bidding, which I don't know, like with the whole bidding thing, I'm not too much of a fan of on eBay, just because sometimes the bids end up at like 3 in the morning or something, and or just like when I'm at work or if I'm not at the computer. So then someone can snipe it, and I wasted like a whole week waiting for it, right? But buying it now, $70, not too bad. GTX 750 for $35. You can't use a PSU. Yeah, it was a full size. Okay, so something like this. So this plus the small form factor, and then if you can get RAM on the side for pretty cheap, you can find Optiplexes for cheaper than this. You can probably get it for like $60. I picked one up for $50 before during actually a build competition, but I think with how popular pre-builds are getting in terms of the YouTube space, everyone knows about it now. So I think the price has like gone up in the last few years, kind of slowly. But let me close all this out. What time is it? Oh, we're covering around like 2 hours now. So in terms of actual building an entire PC right now, prices aren't looking too great. I would say pick up the parts that you can now that you know will work, no matter what. Because if you're going with like AM4 or 11 LGA 11 or no 1200 rather, or just anything newer, it's gonna have DDR4 RAM. The pricing has been stable for the last however many weeks, right? You can get 16 gigabytes, like 3200 megahertz for $65. You can knock that off your list right now. If you know you're going for a newer platform, you can buy things like your case. Motherboard you can maybe wait on, but cases have basically been the same price. They went up after the tariffs, but they've kind of been sitting. Once they're in stock, you can still get good budget cases for $60. RAM is good. SSDs are good. I didn't add one to here, but if you look at today's best deals, I still have to make sure this one has DRAM. Is it in the Q&As? What is this webcam? This is $30. I could have used this. Yeah, so this is tomorrow's Shell Shockers. So let's take a look at 11 hours from now. Team groups, entry level SSD. Oh, they don't have the prices on here though. But these two potential, and then the ADATA. ADATA XPG. These are really good NVMe's. Though the 8100 series, I think mine's the 82. I don't know what the speed difference is between the two. I'd have to look. And then I'm curious how much this 5500 XT would go for. So 11 hours from now, I guess I'll take a look. If it's anything good, I'll tweet it out. Hey, what is better, Ryzen or 10th gen Intels? I think I will still be building with Ryzen once prices are back to normal and both are readily available. Man, I haven't drank water this entire time. I'm like losing my voice. But I would probably still be building with Ryzen just because being able to upgrade to 4000 series and then Ryzen 7, I think it just has more value. I don't care about 10 FPS when we're talking about like 150 versus 160 FPS in games. I really don't care about that. I care about how fast I can render out my videos, if I can stream and do stuff like this, and basically workload related stuff. If you want to buy a gaming laptop, that's actually a good question. So I actually am really curious though, because build the PC sales is actually usually pretty good DRAM. Normally, Tarm's Hardware has a review on this. Yeah, it's definitely a bargain. Then, so it's saying the old version was DRAM-less, but the new one... Oh, is it all DRAM-less? Let me see. Can I scroll this thing? Yeah, so I guess it depends if you really care about your random read and write speeds. That's where the DRAM cache is definitely gonna matter. I've used both DRAM and DRAM-less SSDs. For boot up speeds and things like that, it's fine. If you're doing like very large transfers, you could see some of the performance take a hit, and then just for really random read-write stuff, for games and stuff, you're not gonna see too big of a difference. So I'm not gonna add this to the list. I think I've seen better deals than this. But yeah, so the Shelf Shocker list is not too big. It also has some random stuff in here too, like this hoverboard. So nothing from here except for maybe this. I actually bought a SD card recently for my action camera, and I think I spent $20-something for 126 gig. I wish I saw this, because for $256 I definitely would have spent $31. Dang, but this isn't PC related. Someone was asking about laptop deals. Would it be smart to build a PC right now? Frags? I mean, if you need it, then yeah, it'd be smart. But it's kind of hard to say if you need a PC or not, right? That's up to you to decide. Some people are still on kind of like self-quarantine mode. So a PC could actually be really good for your mental health, so you don't go crazy. Because playing video games and like, for me, editing videos and making videos and stuff, it definitely helps me stay sane. My fiance, on the other hand, she can get kind of stir crazy because she doesn't really have, like, besides watching Netflix and cooking, like, she also likes to go out and shop and stuff. So her mental health is kind of affected a little bit by this whole quarantine thing. Yeah. I just saw the laptops. Today's best deals. Wasn't there a laptop section? Computer systems. We want to look at the gaming laptops, yo. Let's see what the cheapest gaming laptop is. I'm actually due for an upgrade for my laptop. I'm still using the electronics one that has the desktop processor in it. Okay, give me 1 second. So what makes this cheap? This is the cheapest from all sellers gaming laptop. I don't know what makes it a gaming laptop, but it is classified under gaming. We're going to see what the heck this thing has in it. Wait, this looks like almost like a netbook. Yeah, I don't know why this is under... Okay, we gotta go... If you buy a gaming laptop, it needs to have dedicated graphics, which I'm not sure if that's even an option on here. Graphics type, dedicated. There we go. But it can't just have any dedicated, too. It has to have, like... it has to meet a certain threshold. Do I think prices will drop after everyone starts going back to work? I think so. Once we are post-pandemic, where a majority of people are going back to work, all the supply chains are back to normal, all the factories all over the world. I don't know what the current situation is. I usually get my info from like Gamers Nexus and their sources, so I don't know right now currently like what the production rates and stuff and like movement of all the PC inventory is worldwide, so it's kind of hard to say. But once everything goes back to normal, there's no reason for prices not to go back to normal. If anything, things may get cheaper if there's a surplus because everyone is ordering way more than they need, and then they just have way more on hand. So there's more supply than demand. But, it's kind of hard to say. you gotta just work with the situation you're in at that moment. Like, it all goes back to how much do you need the computer. And if you need it really bad, just pay the premium, pay the extra $100, that is spread out through the motherboard, power supply, CPU, everything that's overpriced right now. Pay the extra. Is it worth $100 to get your computer now versus 4 months from now? What are some good micro ATX cases? Let me look through these MX150s. These are pretty low end. So I mean, I wouldn't consider it a real gaming laptop until it has at least like a 1050 in it, which I don't know if these ones get to it. Yeah, 1050. So I would say your used market people, I don't know, for whatever reason, like in my local market anyways, are getting rid of the laptops way more than they are desktop CPU and hardware. Not CPU. Desktop components and hardware. Like laptops, you can find like a pretty decent one for $500 to $600 in my local area that has a dedicated graphics. So I would recommend, if you can, look for that. Because I'm not really liking the prices I'm seeing here. I mean, $700 is the lowest one, and it only has an MX150 in it. Unless the higher end ones get better with like a 1060 or something, which I don't think so. Yeah, this one has integrated graphics. What the heck? Did you get an i9 9900K? Depends on what you want it for. Are you trying to like min-max your performance for gaming? Yeah, we're gonna look for, these are gonna be like the budget laptops right now. 1050 Ti's and the 1650 and 1650 Ti. What do we have? Actually, no. We're gonna go for just the new stuff. $750 right here. You can get the 1650 Max Q, a i5 9300. Is it gonna be 8 gigs of RAM? Oh, why do you do this? But you can get, you saw earlier, 16 gigs of RAM for what did we add to the cart? 16 gigs was only $58. But man, I wish the manufacturers would just increase it by $25 and put it in there for us already. Now, if we want only the 1650 Ti, I bet we're gonna see a price jump. The cheapest one's $1,000. So yeah, that sucks. Yeah, if you don't need to move your PC, well, laptops are it's very situational, right? Because when you buy a laptop, it doesn't just come with like just the the bottom half which has the system. It has a monitor in it, which is worth something. I don't know how to like quantify a price for how much the monitor is worth, but it is worth something, which you have to factor in when you're buying a desktop. And it has a keyboard, which I know you can buy cheap keyboards for like $15, $20, and it has a touchpad. But the portability, some people, like, you can't put a price on that for them. They just have to have it. Students and then people who are on travel a lot. That's what laptops are for. Or people who just don't want to be cooped up in the room all day. Some people, even though they work at home, they actually, or work from home, like they do their business like not in an office space. They go to like coffee shops and things like that. So for gaming though, it's kind of hard to say. Okay, so we're at 2 hours of the stream right now. I guess I'm just gonna hang out now. Let me see if I can get this. Well, that's not what it's supposed to show. Give me 1 second. Because I gotta put the Logitech back on here. Hello? Is it just not gonna show? There we go. Sorry. What is the best used system I can make for around 200 USD? It's gonna be pre-built with a graphics card slapped into it. Definitely. Yeah, it has the game. Pre-built with like an i5 any i5, and then a graphics card that doesn't require external power. Hey, what's up, Ishan? Hi. Do you know someone that ships worldwide because Newegg doesn't ship to Switzerland? Let's see. I mean, I think you would start having to look towards like AliExpress and things like that. Banggood, Alibaba, or AliExpress for if you're not buying in bulk. Yeah, I don't have too much experience with those, unfortunately, just because I, for the most part, buy in the U.S. So. What do you think about a 9100F RX 580 8 gigabyte graphics card or 8 gigabytes of RAM? Either way, I mean, those are some decent entry level specs. Now, you're talking about, is this a system you have? Because I usually am nicer about systems you already have than if you were to try to go and buy one right now. If you already have the system, then, you know, that's decent specs. But if you're going to go buy one, there might be better options. Oh, nice. I'm glad the videos helped. 1650 Super with the Ryzen 5 1600. That's a perfectly fine pairing. I think people are very, like, they get too worried about pairing CPUs and GPUs. If you buy anything modern day, unless you're going super high end, anything kind of in the middle, there's such a wide range of things that work well together. Like, you can take a Ryzen 3 and pair it with a pretty powerful graphics card, and even if it does bottleneck a little bit, it can still like have perfectly fine gaming performance, right? Same with like if you have a really high-end processor and you throw like a kind of a weaker graphics card at it, if you're streaming or if you're like mostly video editing and things like that, that pairing could be fine too. Just don't go pairing like a Ryzen 7 3700X with like a GT 1030 or something. Then that would be like, okay, I don't know what you're doing there, but like, is an autonomous desk worth it? Honest answer, Autonomous didn't pay me anything. I mean, they sent the desks over, but I don't owe them anything. But the autonomous desks, you can see that I actually used two of them. There's one right here. And then there's another one. This is my fiance. She's actually using this right now. Otherwise, it's normally empty. Are they worth it? Autonomous has one of the most competitive prices for their standing desks. Like, if you compare it to other companies with standing desks that is motorized, right, then you're going to see that it's one of the lower prices. And I've had zero issues with my autonomous desk. Now you got to ask yourself, do you want to pay the extra like $150 to $200 difference? Because that's usually what the difference is between a standing desk that's manual crank versus not. And I think it's worth it because the manual crank desks, they suck. They take forever to go up and down. And in that time, you could be doing something else. Like, here's... I'm going to put this in full stand-up mode, right? Oh no, my tripod. But yeah, so like, I can just do something else while this lifts for like however many seconds. Whereas, I'm just going to stand now, actually. Whereas with the crank ones, like the whole time you're cranking, the desk is like shaking like crazy. I think it's worth it if let's say you have back problems and you do need to like stand for a good portion of your work because sitting down too much, you know, it's not really good for our bodies. Especially me these days. What I've been doing is I'm at the computer like 14 to 16 hours a day. I'm working. At least 8 hours a day. And then afterwards, if I'm doing YouTube videos or like just gaming, I'm still at the computer. So being able to sit stand is I think has been really good for me. Is it possible to change the Dell Optiflex to a new case? You could. I've done that before, but not all the connectors are going to work. Especially their temperature sensors, and then it'll give you a warning at the beginning that gives you like an F1. You have to like press F1 to like bypass it. But Dell Optiplexes, if it is kind of like the standard micro ATX boards, which most of the ones that I talked about on my channel, those can go into different cases. Did it look like I was sinking? Yeah. Oh, let's just look at some cases. I think PC cases are always fun to look at. See what's... We'll go to lowest price. And then we're going to get a whole bunch of stuff that... Computer case. That aren't actually PC cases. Yeah, screw the temperature sensor. But I think the thing that's annoying to people is that I don't know what the fix is to get that prompt to go away. Meaning, if you like to turn on your computer sometimes and go get a cup of coffee, if you don't hit that F1, you come back, it's not ready to go. That's the only issue with the using like the Dell Optiplexes, and I'm not sure if all the like Lenovo and HP and those if they have similar issues, but that's the only issue. If you can't get all the plugs in, it's gonna throw that like warning, and it may be annoying. I often, like when I first start off my computer, like walk away to do other stuff, so that would be kind of important to me. So I would have to remember to always hit F1 to bypass. Let's look for, what is, come on man, I put computer cases, not accessories, and I'm getting all these other accessories. Maybe if I pick some form factors, so we're gonna look at mids, micros, because minis are going to be too expensive. They're not by GD. And full towers are too big. I'm not a fan. DIY PC for $30. What's up? I've actually never built in this case. I built in other DIY PC cases, but not this one. This has always been around like $30 though. This is like, you just need something that has a power button and that can hold your components. But that's pretty much it. And let's see, I don't know why this Roseville one is $40. This is definitely, so it has like zero airflow and it's really old, so yeah, this one is not nice at all. So I want to add another case to the cart before we finish up here. Wait, is the Cooler Master Q300 still on sale or decently priced? Are people still a fan of like the older school cases? Basically anything without tempered glass and that still have these, like, would you still use the case that have these 5 1/4 drive bays in them? Or have we moved on from that? Hey, what's up, Mystical Potato? First time, what? I'm pretty sure you've watched me live before. I'm pretty sure I've seen you in chat before. How does the 5700 GPU, it performs very well. It's actually, for its performance tier, you're going to be comparing that to like a 2060 or 2060 Super. And, you know, depending on what team you are, Team Red or Team Green, I think it's for what? 5700 is like $330 right now. Pretty good. If you short the temperature sensor pins, I don't know if it'll skip the warning messages, because I don't know if it's just looking for some kind of like a signal or if it's actually looking for like an actual thing that the mother, like, you know, an actual value. I could have sworn I've seen you in the streams before, Mystical, but welcome to the stream if this is actually your first time. NVIDIA 3000 series. Actually, what is, let's see, Tech Radar release. Multiple sources are suggesting. so nothing's confirmed. So we're looking near fall time frame, which okay, I could see that happening, but you know those graphics cards, they always release like the biggest baddest cards first, right? And you know most of the people aren't gonna be able to afford those, so we'll see. These infinity mirror cases are actually pretty unique looking, even though they have like no airflow. How are the fans of the 5700? It depends on which one. The 5700, if you get the right models, which I think the Gigabyte and Sapphire ones are pretty solid, it's fine. Do people still have this like notion that AMD runs extra hot or something from like, you know, the previous years? Because the AMD cards and CPUs are like fine now. Still haven't seen. Oh, nope. But I've been using your Fractal Design Focus G and it has the base. Yeah. No, I'm talking about like nowadays. Would you buy a case knowingly that has that, or would you try to avoid it? If you, yeah, people probably do have cases that have those openings, you know. But I think they are kind of starting to get phased out for the companies that are, you know, with the times. Oh man, $60? These used to be as low as $40, and I think MSRP is like $45 or $50. $32 shipping from a shipper in Canada called Deal Targets. Maybe it's more reasonable if you're in Canada and you buy this, but oh, this is the Q500L mid tower. Never mind, it's not the Q300L. This one, Gamers Nexus, kind of did a video about the bad airflow in the front. I don't think that applies to the Q300L because the hole patterns are a little bit different. If you're looking for a cheap PC for school, man, you gotta go with the Dell Optiplexes or any other pre-built tower and throw in like a 1050 or 1050 Ti. That's as low as you're gonna go, unless you are knowledgeable about computers and components and can deal hunt in your local area. It's hard for me to just recommend something. Okay, yeah, I think the first case I would grab out of here is this Fantex Eclipse, even though it does have the best airflow. Let's see if we can keep going. What is this? Whoa, 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 whoa. Why does that look so cool? Huh. Just the product image looks cool. I'm curious what this actually looks like in a video. Alright, whose video are we going to watch? It hasn't been covered by any of the big channels. Oh, this is an old case? 3 years ago. I've never seen this case. What's the best case for flipping computers? Man, the best case is the cheapest case, kind of. I guess you're probably talking about, like, how much should you pay so that it actually looks good when you sell it. One second. I want to see what this looks like. Man, some people just care about RGB, and if you can get some that looks cool. Okay, this one has a controller. I just want to see what the effect looks like. Is it? Oh, I don't think this is addressable. So you only get one color on at a time. I thought that looked pretty unique in the picture. Is this a lie? But yeah, for cases, I don't know. The cheapest case that looks decent, which I mean, we didn't see too many. Yeah, like if I had to buy, if I'm trying to flip a computer right now, and I go on Newegg and I'm trying to find a case, what is the first one I would grab? I would want something with at least LED fans in it. This, I'm not feeling the aesthetic, but it already comes with 3 fans, and 2 of them are LED. So it looks more appealing than all these other ones that you can't really see anything in. So it's kind of hard to pick right now because of the prices. But if you can get RGB in there for as cheap as possible, then that would be my recommendation. Like some of these actually, like, they look unique and they'll stand out and make your Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or whatever ad. It'll stand out. People are attracted to like the colors. RGB fans are overpriced. If you go RGB, get deep, cool, or thermal RGB fans. Yeah, they are kind of overpriced. Like for adjustable RGB that doesn't have to use a controller, like a hub with like a remote control that can be controlled from the motherboard. Yeah, you're looking at least like $40 for a set usually. Yeah, the P300, I'm gonna add that to the list, and that's gonna be the last thing for today, just because I think I'm gonna try to plan a build in a P300 in the future. We'll see. I think it's about the that wraps it up though. Pricing, like for half of the components, are okay, or actually some of it is even pretty good. Like for RAM, cases, and then I would say SSDs, you're good. Graphics card aren't in a bad place right now, so if you wanted like a 5700 RX, what's the cheapest one you can get? Not saying you should buy the cheapest one, but $330. You could actually modify the power tables for these, and it's actually $300 after rebate card. So yeah, even a graphics card, if your budget's big enough, of course. I know not everybody has $300 for a graphics card, but if you're building like a $900 to $1,000 system, which I think is a pretty common price point right now, you could definitely fit one of these into your build, and this is solid. Where's the Sapphire one? Oh, Sapphire one's $100 more. Why? Yeah, I mean this one right here, $310, and another $8 off. So it is like $300 before shipping and taxes. I'm actually gonna add this to the wish list. This is one of the more entry level. The MSI, this is the Armor. Did they still call it the Armor? Oh, it's the Mech. Sorry, this is one of the more entry level ones. But man, if you're not min maxing, and you're like more budget conscious, sometimes it just makes sense to pay 10% less than the next one and still get a majority of the performance. Yeah, you can. Yeah, Johnny, you make a good point. Kind of like the recent system that I did where I put a 5700 XT. Some people probably looked at that and was like, "You're really building a system that could be like $1,000 for, and the graphics card is 400 of it." Like, yeah, man. Like, if you're primarily focused on gaming, the graphics card is going to carry most of the weight, and any like modern Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5, even like Intel i5s, they can handle it just fine. So you don't need to spend a ton on the CPU until you start wanting to do things like stream and edit and video encode, things like that. You live in Lake Stevens. What's up? That's like what, 15-20 minutes north of me. I'm good. How are you? Let's look at the weather right now. Weather in Washington's not the best, as you can see right there. My window's open. It actually looks like it's bright, but it's kind of cloudy right now. It could be brighter. The sun's not fully out, so the sky's not blue. Unfortunately, typical Washington. Let's see what the Ryzen 3 prices are looking like. So the good thing is that you can get an Athlon 3000G. This has Vega 3 graphics. If you wanted to hold you over, if you couldn't wait and you just wanted to build something. But what's the cheapest Ryzen processor? Ryzen 3, $78. It's less than MSRP at least. But I think it's gone down to as low as like 60, so I would be comfortable pairing this with up to like a 5600. Wait, is it? Let's see. How much are those? Or is it? There's only the XT. I wouldn't even bother getting the 5600 XT at that point. Might as well go for 3700 for another $30. But the Ryzen 3, it would probably bottleneck the 5700. But I think you'll still get some pretty decent numbers out of it. Uh, 5500 XT for... How low is this? Oh, the thick one? Okay, so my take on graphics cards are... I'm not a fan of buying the higher end model when I could just buy the next model number up. And what I mean by that is, like, I would not buy a high end 5700 when I can get a lower end 5700 XT for the same or even maybe lower of a price. Right? At that point, I would just jump up to the next one. The worst coolers on graphics cards are still somewhat decent. Unless there's like a specific card that was just like really bad. Most of them are fine. So, I don't have... Where's the thick one that you're talking about? The thick Pro... So, wait... No, that's not right. So, oh, it's $200. Okay. 200 versus 180. But this is a Sapphire Pulse one. I'm actually not sure between these two models which one has a better cooler and just has more overclocking capability. But I don't know, man. Sapphire's cards are usually pretty solid, so I don't know if I could justify spending another $20. So it's like a little bit more than 10% price increase. I don't know if that's more than a 10% performance increase if you overclock both of them. I'm actually going to add this to the wish list. This is a pretty good sub $200 card, brand new. What else would you recommend sub 200 though? Is the question. I guess the RX 590. I think those are pretty decently priced. Yeah. So the RX 590. You have similar performance levels. Can I really recommend one of these though? It just feels, I don't know, too old. Unburdened Ash. Yeah, dude. You always looked at NVIDIA cards? Yeah. AMD cards are reliable, man. They have been for a while now. There's just always like a stigma because they used to run hot or they used to draw more power, but I mean any AMD cards since like the launch of the RX series, they've been fine. Yeah, 590 does run as hot. But if you're looking from just the performance and numbers and not looking at temps or power draw, then and you're trying to save, but you're not even saving that much more money on this compared to the 500 XT. This is 190. So, yeah. I mean, just given what we have at the moment, there's not too many options. I guess you can get the 1660, but I think that's over $200. I'm trying to look at like sub. I guess there's a 1650 Super, which this is going to kind of compete against, right? It's going to be, I think, around the same price. This is just a 1650, so we got to look for the Super. 160 for a single fan one. Where's the first? dual fan, 175 plus shipping. So they're about the same price. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on, I guess, which does better in the games that you care about, because they could trade blows. What is an FD $25 off coupon? I'm actually going to add this one to the cart as well. Yeah, the price difference between the first Super that we see, not to the cart. Add it to the wish list. So, yeah, the wish list was a little bare today. It was hard to even put, we couldn't even put together a full system because the main components, like the CPU, wasn't basically in stock for reasonable prices. Actually, no. What am I doing? I thought the 2070, we saw it as low as, I thought we saw that as low as like 450. So if we go to 2070, crap, there's too many of them. Let's just look for a standard one. Ventus, that's a pretty... Oh, wait, never mind. You said 2070 Super, sorry. I know the 2070s went down in price. You have 7 graphics cards, Warish. What are your graphics cards? What level do we need to get on? I don't know what you could do with 7 graphics cards unless you have 7 different systems you're running them in. Otherwise, they're just sitting there depreciating, collecting dust, right? Or, I guess if you're mining. Is it currently 400 right now? Lowest one is this this Asus one for, is Asus? Asus. I say Asus. 420 bucks. And then the next lowest one, because they're kind of phasing out of these, right? They're basically just making supers now, because everything else is just super. Yeah. And the supers jump up 100 bucks. Yeah, for $400. I don't know, man. Unless you really care about ray tracing or something. You can get XT. Which Gigabyte one? I'm sorting by lowest price. And didn't I put only a 2070 in here? I don't see a Gigabyte one unless it just went out of stock. I have all sellers on. Or are you saying it was when it was in stock? Does AMD... Yeah, so AMD does have an equivalent. I honestly don't use Shadowplay or the AMD one. But it does have a recording thing. And it does have like a way for like streaming and everything too. Like, so both companies do have that. In terms of which one's better, I haven't played enough with either of them, especially for streaming. Recording is pretty simple. AMD and Shadowplay, they use very little resources and they can record just fine. For the streaming though, I'm not sure because I always use OBS, so I can't really speak on that. But I mean, the AMD Adrenaline utility, it's pretty advanced now. I'm not sure if you know Lynn AMD. Let's see if they show some good images of it here. But you can control a lot of stuff in here. You can handle your overclocking in here. Yeah, you can do like everything. You can handle streaming. You can handle recording. Is there any more images of it, or is this it? Click here to learn more. Oh, here we go. Oh, what? That's all that pops up. Okay. Yeah. So, they don't have any images of the UI, and I don't have an AMD card in this system, so I can't just pull it up to show you guys. But yeah, the thing that NVIDIA does have, and that's a good point, is the NVENC encoder. If you are trying to utilize that to stream instead of going off of your CPU, which some people, if they are building these systems with like Ryzen 3s or like i3s in them, and they're throwing all their money at the graphics card, that would be one reason to go for NVIDIA. Because that basically does most of the work for you, the NVENC encoder. So okay, we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Thanks. I think I am hungry right now. I had breakfast and that was it. So I need to have like a late lunch. And I'm starting to lose my voice because I haven't been drinking enough water while talking. But I just want to thank everyone for showing up and hanging out. Good turnout today. Aside from, the RAM and cases, which we've been seeing from week to week, we're kind of waiting on processors to get back in stock right now and to go back to normal pricing. Once that does, though, you can prepare if you are looking for a build right now. Most of the other parts, like get your SSD ready, get your RAM ready. You can buy all that right now, and you're not gonna like regret it in a few weeks or months even. SSD pricing and RAM have been pretty stagnant and stable for like, I don't know, the last 6 months, if not longer than that. Yeah, graphics cards aren't too bad right now, but the sales are just kind of less frequent right now. So, get yourself on like the different newsletters, like Newegg's newsletter, and if you have whatever other place you normally buy from around, get onto those so when the sales come out and get to Build a PC sales and Slick deals, and get your notifications on if you want to grab something, because things are going out of stock so fast. The Tomahawk B450, I swear it was online, or it was in stock last night, and I was ready to like go on stream today and say, yes guys, this is the motherboard, if you have been waiting, grab this. And then it was out of stock by the time I started streaming this morning, so sorry. Hey, and Johnny, let me make you a mod right now, because you've been so helpful throughout this whole stream, and you've been like super helpful, so I want to thank you for that. So I'm going to make you a moderator. You've been answering so many questions, just because if I have to split my attention between these two, I definitely can't get all of chat. So thanks a lot, man. Definitely appreciate it. Here's the thing though, Johnny. B550 starting at $99. If for the people who are already only going for the Tomahawk anyways, which goes at $115, if the motherboards aren't too bad, I think it'll be the same. Like if we can get $100 or even $115 B550 boards that have the same like VRM quality, then that's not a horrible thing. So we'll see. But yeah, let's see. I don't know what my next video is gonna be yet. It's probably, actually I do know what it's gonna be. I don't want to spoil it though. It's gonna be a little bit interesting. It's not gonna be a PC build, just because right now it's kind of hard to do PC related stuff, and I kind of just did a PC build, the one where we gave away. So yeah, it's gonna be some kind of fun content coming up. So I just want to thank everyone for coming out to watch the stream. I'm gonna try to do this at least once a month, if not once every couple of weeks. It's just been kind of busy, so yeah. Hope you guys all enjoyed this, and yeah, if you guys didn't see the newest video, I shipped off the giveaway PC, and it has tempered glass and everything. The winner hasn't told me that he got it yet, even though it should have arrived yesterday on Friday. So we'll see if it got there in one piece. I'm pretty sure it did. There's no reason why it shouldn't have, because it was triple boxed. But yeah, I'm gonna go grab some lunch now. So I will see you guys, especially if you guys are watching this after the fact, like not live during stream. I'll see y'all in the comments, as well as I'm active on Twitter. Sorry I don't have a Discord. I might start one if people keep bugging me. And then and I'll see you when the next video drops as well. So hope everyone has a good Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully some more sales pop up throughout the weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.